Welcome to midnight. Hi, D. Yeah, I wanted to come on tonight. I'm going to do a real quick video. I'll give it just a minute, but this will be maybe a quickie. Probably be a quickie. We'll see. Probably should be. So there's a lot obviously happening in the temperament of what's going on in the election. Okay, lots going on. And if you're tuning in to, hi Sarah, if you're tuning in to what you're watching on mainstream television, which I'm not doing, then you're probably up and down. But what I submit and simply say is that wait for the next 24 to 48 hour cycle to come through. Joe Biden took the podium twice today. I thought he was going to try to call the election. Turns out he didn't have much to say. Either time he didn't have much to say. But they are building the narrative for him to come out and say, hi, Shawnee. They are building the narrative for him to come out and say that he's going to accept it. Now, that's where I think we have to point the time frame of the next 24 to 48 hours of what's happening, because obviously nobody knows exactly what's going on. As far as there's a lot of stuff that is not just like being reported on a small level. It's being reported everywhere, and it's rampant, and more things are coming out, like the Michigan glitch. Somehow this seems like a rounded number, so I'm not sure how much I believe it, but nonetheless, they did say that 6,000 votes improperly glitched to Joe Biden from a software glitch that was used in this one county in Michigan. It resulted in 6,000 votes going to Joe Biden. The problem is that the software was used in 47 counties in Michigan. So I'm not saying that there's a problem in all 47 counties. What I'm saying is that they have to do the same thing that they did in the first county that had the software glitch, and is recount the ballots by hand. It's only fair. That's what they have to do. They have to recount them by hand. I will accept whatever they come out with. But the reality is that if that glitch exists, and it's already proven, and it's not me, and I'm not speculating, it is proven. It has been reported. It has been absolutely reported. So it's non-negotiable. They have to just simply hand recount the ballots in there and see what's going on. So that's one example of a widespread possible issue with, voting problems. There's numerous other problems that are going on in Nevada. Obviously, you've been watching. They have an untold number, but it's substantial amount of people that are voting dead. And not only that, that's in Michigan too. In fact, you can't even go on to Michigan voter registration. I didn't check this. I heard it probably 2 hours ago, that you can't even go on there and search like somebody's name, birthday, and year they were born, because you could do it before, because I went in there and checked myself. But they say you can't do it anymore. And the source that I read it from, I believed it. So anyway, check it for yourself, michigan.gov, I guess. Um, anyway, because it was proving so many people that had been dead, not like for a year, not for like 6 months. These they were pulling up so many of people that had died in the 1990s, the 1980s, and so on and so forth going down. They had people that were born in the late 1800s that voted and died in 1984. These are not, I mean, that's one example. I'm just saying to give it to you on a broad scale. This was going on everywhere. Guys, I know that things feel really down right now. I know that Republicans have their lip on their shoe and they're not sure what to do about what's going on. But I will tell you something is that when this is all sorted out, and I want them to count, I want them to find out why people weren't allowed to view the ballot counts who were there legally to do it. I want to know why they weren't allowed to do it. And don't tell me it was COVID. That's bullshit. There's measures to make sure people are safe. We're going into the election. You people are all counting together. You can obviously have people there who are observers. It's legal. It's their role. They had the mandate in their hand. So there's really not an answer. Nobody needs to answer for why they weren't allowed to do it. The simple answer is that because they didn't want them to see what they were doing, right? Now, what does that part of that answer entail? They didn't want them to see what they were doing. That leads to the next question. Why? Why didn't they want them to see what they were doing? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, but not really. Not by nature. Not by nature. Not really. We joke a little bit in the house, you know, Bigfoot, aliens. We joke about it, but I'm not. I'm not a conspiracy theorist by nature. What I'm saying is that we're going to know very soon, right? And by very soon, I mean between now and, well, ultimately, let's put the marker on January 20th, 2021. Between now and January 2021, we're going to really clearly know what's been going on, right? So that's our marker. However, I think some of us know pretty much what's going on right now, but many people will know what's going on in the next 24 to 48 hours. And D5 avalanche type information is about to, as a good channel that I used to watch would say, the caca is about to hit the air movement device. The caca is about to hit the air movement device. Now, they've done everything they could in this coup, once again, against President Trump, who they've been trying to get out of office for 4 years. Make no mistake. If you would do any bit of homework and understand how long they have wanted this man out of office and have painted him in the worst possible scenario, when they all loved him before he ran for president, there's an issue there. If you just take that on the surface and say, well, that's just how they are in Hollywood. No, you do yourself a disservice not to understand what's going on. Because the reality is way better to know about than the bullshit that they try to sell you in nightly news. It's way better. The reality of what's going on in this country is the greatest story ultimately you're ever going to wake up to or understand. But it is exactly what I'm saying it is. I don't take it and try to apologize for it. If it doesn't happen, and I don't even actually want to allow myself to even say that, because I 100% believe when this is done, it's going to be done properly. And we're all going to really, really know why it went down exactly how it goes down. And that guy is going to be back in that office. You're watching a movie. This movie has our butts clenched. Bad. You know? But honestly, I mean, what is the final little piece in the Jenga that needs to happen? Does Biden need to claim the victory? Does he need to come out and say, I claim it? Is that what needs to happen? Does the thief need to leave the grocery store with the candy bar stuffed in his front pocket? He can walk around the store all he wants with that candy bar in his pocket. They can't do anything. They can't arrest him until he exits the store. Do they need the Democrat Party to claim the victory for Biden in order to move in to expose all the corruption that all of you know is there? I mean, anybody that's awake understands. What's up, Moon Child? Anybody that's awake knows what's going on. Seriously, they do. You know, this election was about the minority vote coming out as much as it was about anything else. I mean, this is a unifying president that wants to unify. He has taken us out of any new wars. He has not started any new wars. He's like the first president in decades to not put us into a new conflict. He's taking us out of all the conflicts. That should, number one, give everybody a great sigh of relief. This guy is not causing conflicts. He doesn't have conflicts with the world. He's de-escalating anything with everybody. He's cut the knees out from the pharmaceutical industry. These are changes that are going to go into effect January 1, 2021. President Trump will be there to take credit for this great, great reversed injustice against the American people that was bleeding people's bank accounts because the middleman needed to get paid. Trump took that away, and they're gone. President Trump is instituting a federal tax cut to anybody that is employed, that they no longer have a federal tax in their paycheck. That's another bump into the economy. He's already increased the family economy by $10,000 per year in the tax cuts. You know, people can hate who Trump sounds like and who they want to paint him as. They can. They can try to pull up everything that they want. They've thrown everything they can at this man. This is nerve-wracking. But I am not stressed. I am not at odds with anybody that's a Democrat. I've had civil conversations, a few of them now, with people that are Democrats. This isn't about spiking a football on anybody. And when he proves to win, I'm not going to spike a football on anybody. But I believe it right down to the very core of my body that when this is done, he's going to be the president. And there's some people that will claim when this is done, oh, he cheated. Oh, he had to stop it. I would just tell you to take a breath, take a pause, and see what happened on election night around 2 o'clock in the morning when President Trump was well on his way to a landslide in this election, and everything got halted. And all of you have seen the graphs. The middle of the night bump. Pow. Wisconsin. Pow. Michigan. That's not a mirage. That's a real freaking thing that happened while the elections were closed, while they weren't supposed to be counting. It's the first time in history they ever stopped counting on election night at 2 in the morning. If you don't see that there's clearly an agenda here and how he was beating Joe Biden's ass up and down election night, and how they had to throw a monkey wrench into the frickin' spokes of this landslide victory, then that's on you. Either way, I think it's been planned for. I think they knew it would happen. I think they knew it would outrage a lot of people. And I'm hearing that a lot of Trump supporters are out there like not handling this very well. And I get that, but you know what? You have to handle this how it comes. I suppose handling it well means understanding honestly what you know is about to hit the fan and come. There's a trump card. There is a final thing. And when I say the trump card, I'm not talking blackmail. I'm not talking any of this. I'm talking about some really, really like, here is some woke stuff. Like even the hardcore liberals can get behind and go, holy cow, I didn't even know it could be like that. I had no idea it could be like that. Think insurrection versus invasion. Did they insurrect their minions to tape all this to be on the inside? Well, it would appear by the drip drips of Project Veritas that, yeah, I think there's about to be some overwhelming information that's going to prove that this thing is in so many different ways, not just like by that. I think it'll be by exposing voter rolls, all this. It's just going to be laid out and everybody's just going to understand it and see it. And unfortunately, there will be people that won't accept it. And that's a given. I mean, that's definitely a given, but they're the people that won't go any further to understand anything. You know, they are the epitome of orange man bad. Anything else means nothing. So I came on tonight to tell you to have faith, have hope. You have to understand that this is firmly in control. This has been planned for. And some of you, you know what, I read in the responses. I will get a couple of responses from some people that, you know, they'll say that what I'm spouting can't be true and that I shouldn't be saying this. And you know what? If that's proven to be the case, I think we're going to know very soon. Very soon. But this is not a foregone conclusion as far as the election either. There's also a reason, and I can't quite figure it out yet, why Joe Biden hasn't claimed the victory. But again, maybe he'll do it like in the middle of the night. Maybe he'll do it like 3 a.m, around the same time they dumped all the ballots into Michigan and Wisconsin. And they continue to harvest into Pennsylvania. I'm all about a fair election. Count them all. Count all the legal votes. Count them. But you have whistleblowers coming out. You have people coming out stating that they were dating ballots, backdating them so they could be accepted. It was ordered to them to do it. And they were overwhelmingly just stuffed ballots that were in ballot locations, all going for the Democrats. And not even the Democrat senators or anybody in the House. It was just overwhelming, just one blocked in vote for Joe Biden, all of them. Listen, if you look at that, and that's very verifiable, you can get this information. But if you look at that and go, there's not a problem, that's on you. And this is happening on all kinds of levels everywhere. It's not on me to make anybody understand that, honestly. I'm stating the information that's already available. That's simply what I'm doing. This information is there. I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to pull anybody astray, pull you into direction. No, on the contrary. On the contrary. I'm here because I love this country. And I woke up one day and wanted to know what was going on. So I jumped in and figured it out, like a lot of you. Like a lot of you. This had to go down this way. I do think Joe Biden has to claim victory, and then the wheels are in motion. I think they were dipping their toe in the water twice today to see the reaction. Nobody is excited. Nobody is even going to give a rat's ass about him announcing his election. They're going to try to throw a virtual party on the television and all that, and everybody's going to give him a huge finger. The people voted. The stock market, like I said, knows who won the election, and they know who will be taking that office when this is done. This is a Hail Mary last ditch effort by the deep state to try to steal this election. But the problem is they didn't need to steal it by 50,000 votes. They needed to steal it on numbers that were of record proportion. And that's where they're running into a problem that also shows the criminality in what happened in this election. Trump won so many votes that they had to crush Barack Obama in 2008, which was the Mount, like Vesuvius, whatever, not Vesuvius. I don't know, the big ass mountain. It was the biggest pinnacle ever. Nobody would ever even touch it. Barack Obama in 2008. And I got that because that was electrifying. It was electrifying when Obama got elected in 2008. I was there throwing my vote at Obama going, yeah, hope and change. Let's do it. Hope and change. And it was a big deal. He filled a sports stadium. Man, it was big. There was nothing bigger ever. Ever, ever, ever. And he crushed it in 2008. And Joe Biden, who didn't get out of his basement, who couldn't put 3 words together, who couldn't even say anything tonight of any substance. Why did he even go on? That guy not only beat President Trump, but he crushed the largest vote turnout for him in the history of politics, albeit smashing the demographics of how many voters were actually registered in numerous regions throughout the country. Now, the good news is that somebody like me understands this and knows this. The bad news is that somebody that's watching this will go, yeah, that might happen here and there, but that's not going on everywhere. And the beautiful news is that, yes, it is. And you're about to see it on a massive scale. It's going to be in a way that there's no denying what they did to steal this election from, in my opinion, the greatest president that this country's ever seen. Albeit I wasn't here for Washington or Lincoln or JFK. But I was here for Reagan. He was pretty good, but I didn't understand until now how great he was. Anyway, I do this video to give you hope and to know that I am not wavered at all from this. I am trusting this 100%, wholeheartedly. It's moves and counter moves. And right now, Deep State made a move in the election. I think there's about to be a humongous counter move. And it's going to wake up a shitload of people, which is the goal. It's a great awakening. This is what this is about. It's the great awakening, right? Is it not? It's about way more than you and me. Who cares? We've been awake for years. Who cares? It's not about that. It's about the person that needs to wake up right now. Right now. It's about them. These are the people that need to be awoke to what's really going on and what has been going on. You know, all the other shit that's been exposed. People can wake up to that later. Right now, they have to wake up to shit. If they could just wake up to the fact they've been lied to about what's going on in the votes right now, that would be a win. But I think that will come out. I think it will come out in spades. Quite honestly, if it doesn't, it's the death of our republic. So sleep tight. Have a good night. It has to come out. That's listen, if it doesn't and it goes a different direction and it still works out, that's great. I don't know what that is quite yet, but so I think it all points to that. Listen, those of us that believe that there is corruption, I think pretty much everybody wants to see it. So can we please have it in many, many spoonfuls and large doses? Yeah, that would be great. But again, I'm just a person on the sideline reporting it how I see it, right? Right now, that's how I see it. But for now, I say don't worry, don't fret. Yeah, Brian Rosenberg, lots of things like that. Sure. I think it's bigger than that, but yeah, I think all that stuff. Sharpie Gate, people marking it with Sharpies, people talking about watermarks, people talking about sequencing with the isotopes. I think it's all important. I brought them up the other night. I think it is. But, it actually turns out that may be just a fraction of what they have for tracking these votes. And really won't matter when this is over. There's so many. The crazy thing is they have just so many people like doing these weird things with the ballots in between their cars. And they had it back in 2016 also, which that was very suspect. That was very suspect back then. Broward County, 2016. Broward County, 2012. Broward County, 2008. Lots of just bad stuff. It finally came to light in the 2016 what was going on in Broward County. It turns out there's all kinds of Broward counties everywhere. That's the crying shame of that. All Broward County proved to us is that crap's going on everywhere. And they were, oh man, just, it's terrible how bad the corrupt politics are between the politicians. And again, to Donald Trump's point, thank God he's not a politician. He's a guy that got voted in to come in here and fix our country. And that's all he's tried to do and bring peace and jobs and manufacturing in our country. And all the left has done is just smeared him over nothing, mind you, that's stuck. There's nothing. I don't know. This guy deserves another 4 years. And I think when this is all over and done with, that's going to be proven huge. It's just simply going to be proven huge. So that's about it. You guys have a good night. Keep the faith. Keep your faith. All right. Like I said in the past, you guys have a huge advantage, like knowing how we're even here, where we're at. There's a lot to get done yet. A lot. This is a blip in the plan. And it's been calculated. And when this is done, it's going to be over. That's not wishful thinking. We're talking about math and probabilities. Remember that from prior streams? When we talk about math and probabilities and the probabilities of things being exactly what we've been shown they are, This scenario is already in the rear view mirror for where this is going. This is playing out. You're watching a movie, all right? I hate to belabor the point, but at this time it just seems pertinent. I mean, that's about it. All right. God bless you all. Pray for this country. Pray for this president. You know, seriously, hedges of protection around this country and around the people that are going to have to deal with the shift that is going to come in a matter of however many days or weeks. They're going to feel like they want it one way, and it's going to flip back to where it's illegal and it's been counted appropriately and not stuffed with just fear and panic votes, and that's probably where watermarks and all that will come into play, but it's bigger than that. I mean, they've got the goods on them. They had to allow it to happen. That's the hard part about this. They had to let the crime happen, and now they're about to expose it. But again, to that point earlier, there's a reason Joe Biden's not claiming victory. That's going to set a signal, a marker for the next phase. I mean, that's going to be it. And he's not doing it yet. He hasn't been given the order by the deep state. I hope that sneaky little weasel doesn't try to scoot it in at 3 a.m. What a little turd. He probably will. All right. God bless you guys. Love you. Have a good night. I just ramble. My bad.